Okay, today you're learning shortcuts. You can do distributive property in everything we're doing today, but if you recognize that, oh, that's one of those special ones, there's a faster way to do it. Or if you use the test and you can't remember that faster way, you can do distributive property. But for today, the entire assignment, you need to be applying these special case shortcuts, okay? There are two that we're talking about today. And I am on the wrong page. It's the right page here. The first one is for the square of a binomial. Square of a binomial. Square of a binomial is just a binomial that's squared. Can anyone give me an example of a binomial? Okay. Oh, there's one. What did you say? 2x plus 1, because 2x is one term, 1 is the other term. So it has two terms, and by, the prefix means 2. Okay, we can even use that one in a little bit. I'm going to do a generic form first. A plus b is also a binomial, but we're doing the square of a binomial, so we're going to be squaring that binomial. Okay, we're going to do it the long way first to denote what the shortcut is. What does it mean to have this squared? You can tell me. Hayden? Yeah, so we have two of them, right? It means a plus b times itself, a plus b. If that was a 3, we'd be timesing it by itself 3 times. Or if it was 100, we'd be timesing it by itself 100 times. Thank goodness it's only a 2, though. And the way we've been practicing these to multiply, we've been doing the distributive property, get those arrows popping. You always start on the left, right? It will be. A times A is a squared. We add the exponents. This was a 1. This was a 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus, remember, you have to distribute that A twice. So don't just do it once. Make sure you do it twice. A times positive B. B. Oh, careful. A, B. No square on that one because it's just A times B. I know this is weird because we don't have numbers. B times A. BA. Now I'm going to actually write it in alphabetical order. And the reason I want to write it in alphabetical order is because right here I see, what are these guys? They're like terms. Okay, so if you write it in alphabetical order, then you can see your like terms easier. And we have to do the B one more time. B times B. So a positive B squared. And what will happen every time, especially when we do it in this order, these guys are like terms, and there's 2 of them. So we get 2, not 2, I need the 2 in a sec. I should write A squared first though. A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. This is our shortcut. Yeah?
So would it be like A squared and B squared together? It'd just be 2AB?
There's a middle term, 2AB in the middle. Okay, so now we're going to try it with some numbers. Well, a binomial that has a number. Okay, what if I gave you x plus 3 squared? We could go through the distributive property, or you can be like, oh, this is a binomial that's squared. I know a shortcut for this. This is how Ms. Gray says it in her own words. You take the first guy squared, plus 2 times 1 of each of them, plus the second guy squared. So you have to decide who's the first guy, who's the second guy. What's in the A position for the first guy? What's in the A position? X. Any questions how we came up with X?
Is this example 2?
Well, you can call it example 2 if you want. I'm just keeping all of these squares and binomials example 1. Does that confuse you? I'll write example 2. Makes it better. Okay, Brayden, what what's in the B position? Good. Because plus B plus 3. So in the B position is a positive 3. Okay? Now, the shortcut is we square the first guy. The first guy in the A position was x. So we're going to square it. Possibly. Make sure you're writing, please. Plus 2 times 1 of each of them, which was x and 3, plus the b squared. And b was what again? 3. 3 squared. I did the shortcut. Okay, we'll practice these over and over. A squared, the first guy squared, plus 2 times 1 of each of them, plus the second guy squared. It's the shortcut. Well, guys, no, with practice, this is actually easier. The first time when you're seeing it, I know you're like, what is this? I promise you, with practice, which we will be doing today, it will get easier. So let's simplify. X squared plus 2 times x times 3. What's that? 2 times x times 3. 6x plus 3 squared. Oh, 3 squared. What is 3 squared? 3 times 3 is 3 times 3, 9. So try another one. It will get easier the more we practice. I think maybe we should practice saying this. So the shortcut is the first guy squared. Everyone say that. First guy squared. Say it, please.
First guy squared.
Plus 2 times 1 of each of them. Say that, please. Oh, that wasn't very good. Let's try it again. First guy squared plus 2 times 1 of each of them. Say that, please.
First guy squared.
Okay, that's a little mumbled. Plus b, or the second guy squared. So let's say it all. The first guy, say it with me, the first guy squared plus 2 times 1 of each of them plus the second guy squared. I have some people not saying it, so let's try it again. The first guy squared plus 2 times 1 of each of them plus the second guy squared. Now we're going to do that on...
Why'd you put parentheses around the x and the 3?
Because I'm multiplying, that's a way to show multiplication.
Why did you put on the a plus b squared?
Because the variables you don't have to have parentheses by, it's just optional.
Okay.
But on this one I'll definitely be using parentheses because if you have a negative, you need parentheses to make sure you keep it straight. Okay, you just practice the saying. What was the saying again? First guy squared. Oh, we have to identify the first guy. Okay. Janelle. Who's in the A position? B. Great. And next to you, Michaela. Who's in the B position? Ah, good job. -4 is in the B position, so you have to take the sign with it. Okay, so that phrase again. First guy squared. What was first guy? B. So it'll be B squared. Plus, what comes after first guy squared? 2 times, what's that saying? 2 times 1 of each of them. So I'm just going to fill in those parentheses. One of them should be a B, the other one should be the -4. Plus the second guy squared. -4 squared. What's wrong with this?
Yeah, plus
Parentheses, actually. Because -4 squared is actually -16, but -4 squared this way is +16. Why is there a difference?
this one.
Why is there a difference? Someone on this side. What's the difference? I got 2 different answers, but I had the exact same number being squared. Okay? Yeah? Because you're also squaring the negative, right? If you have parentheses, you're squaring -4 times -4. So the negative is being times by negative, which is a positive. Versus this one is technically -1 times 4 times 4, which is -16. So if there's a negative, we make sure we put parentheses to include the negative sign on the squaring. So if we simplify now, we get b squared. 2 times b times -4. Fernando, what's 2 times b times -4? So do the numbers at least. What's 2 times -4? And then we just have a b. So -8b plus -4 squared. Tony, what's -4 squared? I just put it on the board over there. Positive 16. That's it.
What's b? Isn't it b squared? Like
Yeah.
b squared?
This is b squared.
Well, because 2 times b times -4.
There's only one b in this group.
But then you times it by 2.
That's different. That's 2b. b times b is how you get b squared.
Okay.
Guess we need to try another one. Well, it's okay. Let's try another one. Example 4. A plus 7. A plus 7. Okay, Isaac, what's in the A position? Ah, A equals A. That's
What
nice.
Isaac were you talking to?
Oh, yes, there's 2 Isaacs. Other Isaac, Sherman, what's in the B position? 7, even though my 7 looks a little funny. That's supposed to be a 7.
I should be known as Nighthawk.
Nighthawk, I don't know if I'm going to call you Nighthawk. Okay, so let's say the whole phrase before we start plugging it in. Say it with me, please. You have to be verbalizing. Wait, all at the same time. All at the same time. Ready, begin. First guy squared plus 2 times
One of each.
one of each of them plus the second guy squared. So that's what we do. The first guy squared is what? A squared plus 2 times A times one of each of them plus 7 squared, the second guy squared. First guy squared plus 2 times one of each of them plus the second guy squared.
It's trying to get easier, okay?
Yes? Nope. Nope. This is just, the parentheses are just showing timesing.
No, not in the problem, in the, okay, next to
Oh.
4.
Sorry. Yeah, most of those A squares. Okay, so let's simplify. A squared plus, okay, don't shut out, I'm going to call someone, but think about it in your head. 2 times A times 7, think about it in your head. What's that going to be? 2 times A times 7. Brooklyn, what do you get? Okay, and then if we multiply it by 7, we get 14A. There you go. 14A plus 7 squared. 7 times 7.
49.
49.
So you can get that out? Okay.
That is the answer.
Okay.
Okay, let's try one more.
Yes. Finally.
Example 5. 3r minus 2 squared. 3r minus 2
3 R's and A
squared. It is. It's true. All squared. Okay, so Alex, what's in the A position? I'm sorry, a little louder. Thank you. Okay, in the B position, McKenna, -2. Okay? So again, we take the first guy. What do we do with the first guy? Squared. So we have to put parentheses because we need to make sure we're squaring everything in that, not just the r. We're squaring everything. Plus 2 times 3r, and so 2 times 1 of each of them, plus the second guy, which is -2. Notice I use parentheses. Squared. If you're ever using a negative or something that has multiple terms such as 3 or multiple pieces such as 3r, you should put that in parentheses. This 3r squared is not 3r squared. That is wrong. This is the power rule that we talked about at the beginning of the year. The 3 has to be squared and the r has to be squared. It's not 6 actually. 9, because 3 squared is 9. 9r squared. Okay, this one we might want to take piece by piece. Hold on. Gauge 2 times 3r would become
6R.
times -2 would become good. -12r plus. Notice the -2 is in parentheses because we're also squaring the negative. -2 times -2 would be a positive 4. Okay, getting better? I'm going to give you one to try all by yourself.
It feels like, but if you have this test, they're like way different problems.
Well, if you look at the test review, it was exactly the same as the test, other than numbers changed. Example 6. Okay, this one's all for you. You can do it. What's your favorite letter? J.
Yeah.
For Johnny Green. I saw you ride your bike on the corner of State Street. Johnny Green.
That's not.
Did you see there? Yeah. I was on a date and I was like, hey, look, that's one of my students. And he was riding his bike. He said I should throw something at you. Just kidding. He didn't say that. Okay. J. Okay, Johnny, what's your favorite number? That's small. That's small favorite. 5. You guys can do it. I believe in you.
Is that a plus?
Plus, yep. I believe in you. First guy squared plus 2 times 1 of each of them plus second guy squared.
Yeah, my brain.
Make sure you use parentheses around that 5J because there are 2 parts to it.
Good.
Yep. Good. Okay. We're doing okay, guys. Let's see how we did. I think from everyone I've checked, we're on the right track, or we're going it correct. The first guy squared. 5j squared. Make sure you have parentheses, as the 5 is also being squared. Plus 2 times one of each of them, plus the second guy squared. So, 5 squared is not 10, is not 7, it is 25. J squared plus 40j plus 16. Okay? You get that? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I did get that.
Good. I'm going to give you one more before we move on to the next rule. The next rule is easier, so we're working on the hard one first. The next rule is easier. I'm going to give you one more to try on your own to solidify it.
Hey.
You're getting it. Lee, favorite letter, and give me a small number.
What kind of?
What? Okay? Okay, thank you.
4. 4.
Wow, you guys can do 10. That's a nice one. 10. Okay, 6p minus 10. Careful on signs. Use parentheses. If ever it's a negative or has multiple parts to it, like a coefficient and a variable. Squared. Thank you. Squared. Sorry. Squared. Thank you. Use parentheses.
You need a 2 for this one as well. Times, just be in, it's actually and then plus the second guy, which is, what's the sign of the second term? And square that. Good. Okay, multiply comes out. And then you would have this is right. Okay. All right, I think you're starting to master it. Yep. Okay, so first guy squared, use those parentheses. Plus 2 times 1 of each of them. Oh, what type of 10 is this? So be very careful. That was a negative 10. Plus the second guy squared. So you get 36p squared minus 120p plus, yep, 100.
Woo, I did it right.
Good job. Good job. We're looking a lot better. I think you're starting to get the hang of it. We have one more special case, and this one's even easier. One more special case called,
You marked my, you said minus right, but I was wrong. Is it negative 100 or is it positive 100?
it's positive 100.
Why?
Because a negative times a negative is a positive.
That's a parenthesis, not a
It's timesing the negative sign. If there's no parentheses, then you get a negative. Okay, the last special case is called the product of a sum and difference. The product of a sum and difference. Example 8. Okay? Product means we're multiplying. Sum means there is something being added. This is the answer to an addition problem. Difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. So A plus B times A minus B. This is the special case. They are exactly identical except for what? The sign. One says plus, one says minus.
Yeah.
These are really nice, because look what happens every single time. A times A is,
A2.
not A2, A squared. Not the same. A2 is this. It's different.
I see it.
But we don't say it like that. You can say A2 to the second power, or you can say A squared. Those are your options. Okay, A times, what type of B is that? So A times negative B. Oh dear. A times negative B. Negative AB. In alphabetical order. And then positive B times A. Alphabetical order would put it as positive AB. And positive B times negative B. Negative B squared. What's going to happen? 2 in the middle cancel out. Negative apple banana, positive apple banana. One's negative, one's positive. It cancels out. And you're only left with A squared minus B squared. This is a really nice one. The middle terms will always cancel out. So it's just the first guy squared, subtract the second guy squared. Told you it's easier. So, example 9, let's put some numbers in. X minus 2. Well, X plus 2, we'll start with. X minus 2, it doesn't really matter, but. The binomials are identical, except for one is plus and one is minus. When this happens, the middle terms always cancel out, and it will be the first guy squared, subtract the second guy squared. So who's the first guy? So we'll get x squared, subtract, now be very careful, who's the second guy?
2 squared.
Yeah, the second guy is just the 2, we don't have to worry about the sign. 2 squared, so therefore it is x squared minus 4. Or you can go through and do distributive property. It just takes a while. If you notice right off the bat, oh, 2 binomials being multiplied that are exactly the same except for one is plus, one is minus. It's really easy. Let me give you another one. Example 10. A plus 4 times A minus 4. Try that one on your own. A plus 4 times A minus 4 using the special case. Using the special case, what would we get? Except for it'll be minus. It will always be minus. Yep, on this one, between them will always be minus. Because no matter what we're squaring over here, the square will always come out positive, so we subtract it in positive, so we get minus. Okay, Kira, what's the first guy?
A.
So we'll square that, right? Minus, Kira, what's the second guy?
4. And we square that. So, Kira, what'd you get? 4 squared. That means 4 times 4. 16. 4 squared is 16, but we're subtracting whatever that square
Why
was.
did you put parentheses around the 2?
You can. Sorry, parentheses are often optional. Because it's the second guy squared. That's the formula. B squared. You square both. Okay, sounds like we need another one. Okay, 3b plus 5 times 3b minus 5. I will help you with this one because it looks slightly different. What's the only difference? With the b is a number, a coefficient. So, Hayden, this is an instance I'm going to use parentheses because there's a 3 and a b, so I need to make sure I'm squaring both of them. 3b, I need all of that squared, not just the b. Minus, who's in the second spot? 5, and we don't really care about the sign. It's 5 squared, and you can use parentheses on that, but you don't have to on that one. You have to when there's a negative, and you have to when there's 2 parts to the term, such as this guy, 3 and a b. So 3b squared means we're squaring the 3 and we're squaring the b. So 3 squared is 3 times 3, which becomes 9. B squared is just b squared minus 25. Okay, I'm going to give you one more. Try on your own. And then, if all is well, we'll be done. Okay.
4. I. Should I? 7.
Okay. Okay, on your own, solve that, please. Simplify, I should say. That's an I. For Isaac. It's going to come out Isaac squared, right? And we have 2 Isaacs in this room. So Isaac squared. Since the 4 and the I have a coefficient and a variable, I would use parentheses. Now multiply those out. Okay, let's check everyone.
Can I get your attention, please? 3, 2, 1, 0. Don't need to be quiet by now. Okay, so the first guy squared. I don't think you can see that orange. It's that dark orange. First guy squared minus the second guy squared. You can use parentheses on the 7, but you don't have to. Equals, remember, this squared goes to both the 4 and the I. So we get 16I squared minus 49. Woo! What to do? Good. Most of what I saw was good. Okay, our assignment is it's on, sorry, I didn't write down on my board. It is on page 71. One through 18 all, 20 through 32 even. Pretty sure it's 32. 32 even. I have packets for those who don't have books, and I will go get the last page as well of that other packet for you guys.